I'll admit I had thought about doing Eevee, but then I was like, you know what? I really don't want to torture myself, so I figured I'd pick something easier and in Gen 2. After all, we haven't covered that many Gen 2 Pokemon yet. I mean, we are working on Teursa and Phanpy, but I figured we'd go with something a bit stronger and go with Miltank. That way, I can use something that, hits like a freaking truck. Albeit it is outdone by Tauros, but I think it actually is going to be the easier of the two to use, even with them both having weaker special attack stats than Teddiursa does. Just because, Miltank can use the elemental punches, and that is a massive advantage to have. It really helps. Because it gives you reliable damage, unlike Tauros, which would have to run like Blizzard if it wants to have an ice move for the dragons at the end of the game. Though I'll admit that base attack power is definitely going to be a bit of a hindrance for Miltank, but let's face it, it also has more bulk and a better chance to really run rest. And has access to healing through like milk drinks, so I think overall it's just going to be the better Pokemon for this run. Yes. At some point we're probably going to have to try Pika-Blue, though I have to admit, that run's probably going to suck. Like, I guarantee we'll use Evolution in that one. Because it's got 20 attack and 20 special attack. Like, it doesn't hit hard enough, even as an Azumarill. It doesn't have access to great power yet, so its hits are completely terrible. I don't know, I guess we'll go with something that eats cows. Why not? Yes, we're quite ready to dig into dinner. And we'll also need a glass of milk to go with it, right? Probably should finish off my gallon of milk. It expires after today. Admittedly, it'll probably last a couple days more, but might as well get rid of it now, right? Plus, I probably got strawberry syrup floating around somewhere. I'd have to double check, but I mean, come on, I usually do keep at least a little on hand. Whenever I buy ice cream, which isn't that often, but every now and again I like to spoil myself on that front, though usually it ends up being potato chips. Especially for movie nights. Though that's not till Friday, usually. Yeah, I know it's bargain bin Saturdays, but I usually watch them on Friday, because that's when I usually get stuck after work, so coming home and watching movies is just being lazy in my case. At least a little bit. Though I'll admit, I sometimes like to cut short work on truck because of it, because I'm like, oh, it's gonna take me like 3 hours to get through a movie. Not a movie, 2 movies. I want some time to watch and then, put my thoughts together and then, do the video. Because despite those being rather off the cuff, they can still end up taking a bit longer than I expect. Like, it's not uncommon for an episode of Bargain Bin Saturdays to take almost an hour for me to get a recording I'm happy with. Because sometimes I feel like I just needlessly ramble. So yeah, we're gonna transform Totodile. Yeah, the main reason is that Bayleaf, has the most defensive bulk, so it seems like the best counter really to Miltank. I guess we'll go with Bessie. Bessie sounds like a good name for a milk cow. Well, plus I think it's the name of, the Beanie Baby, one as well, wasn't it? Or am I misremembering? That's not like I'm gonna go dig through, my mom's Beanie Baby collection to find out. Assuming I can even find out where it's at. Okay. Well, you have to stop here for a moment, so give me a second. Okay, we're back and ready to go. Yeah, it's important to stop and save so I can deactivate the cheats before, they mess up the game. And lock down the fact that, it's a Miltank, when I deactivate them. Plus, I gotta have codes to modify my move slots. So, if I was to learn a new move, which isn't likely, I think we learn Growl at level 8. It just messed things up because I'd be telling it to be a blank move slot. So it's just best not to deal with it. Yeah, it takes about half a dozen cheats to basically set these runs up. From Pokemon modifier code to move codes. I suppose if I really wanted to, I could try to maximize my stats as well. I'm not sure where all the free experience came from, though. Oh well, I'll just accept it. You know, I guess it was just a mess up anyway. But it's fine. It's gonna take forever to level up, though. The big problem with leveling up as Miltank is it's in the slow experience group. So it takes a lot of experience to level up a Miltank. It takes as much experience to level up Miltank as it does, you know, Dratini and Dragonair, you know. It's a lot. Basically, it's considered like a pseudo-legendary as far as the game's concerned in terms of its experience growth curve. Which I'll admit is a bit weird, because I don't usually think, you know, pseudo-legendary when I think Miltank, but it does have a 490 base stats going for it, so yeah. It's pretty up there, unlike Pikachu was at like, what, it was maybe like 300, 325, something like that. It wasn't very high, I'm just saying Miltank's a lot more powerful. At least in terms of overall stats. I mean, where they're spread is where it really counts, right? And Miltank's got a lot of defensive bulk, solid attack, and, you know, quite a bit of HP. It's not the most HP, but, you know, this thing's built to take hits and dish out decent damage back. Unlike Pikachu, which is really weak in a complete glass cannon, without being a cannon. Like, it tried. It tried so hard. It wanted to be a cannon. But yeah, I think we'll be fine for the first fight. I mean, sure, it's gonna take us forever to get to, like, level 10, probably. But, you know, we can always use Mud Slap to help deal with the rocks. We can use the TM for Rollout, I suppose, to cheese Whitney. Because we don't learn it until, like, level, I want to say almost 34 we get Rollout. Gosh darn you, Noctowl! Why do you hate me? They keep using Growl. You're just delaying the inevitable! And we missed, of course. Man, now that makes me wish I had Thunder Punch. Well, just a little bit more. I'll say you better not miss again. Yep, not even level 6 yet. It's gonna be a fun time, man. Well, at least we can get some free healing here. Yes, an egg. Darn it, I forgot to refill my cup. So I can't drink in the middle of this episode. Darn it. Yeah, he's the expert on evolution. I really don't care. My biggest gripe is it's getting really late, and, you know, I still gotta process, you know, this episode, 3 other episodes, and still record another one. Where I'm even done with the Pokemon Silver recordings tonight. I am so behind schedule, because the end of the Pikachu run just took so much grinding, it really messed me up. I hadn't planned for it, really, for tonight. I need something that's short. I mean, I could jump into doing an RPG Maker project, I suppose, instead of going on the work on Crystal, because that's going to be grind-heavy, too. I already know it's going to be, because I need to get more levels to try and deal with Haunter. It's proving an absolute nightmare. And the fact that Rival starts with it in that fight, we're at the moment really sucks, because I can't even, go into Haunter with, the third or fourth hit from rollout. And it's not like Fampy gets access to Dig. I mean, that would allow it to at least force Haunter to kill itself. To get Curse up. And just sometimes your limitations on your moveset can really get in your way, I swear. Oh, let's take out the rat, I guess. Come on a bit more. Maybe got a decent hidden attack value or IV. I'm pretty sure they're IVs this generation instead of hidden values, but whatever. It's all the same difference, right? Oh wait, it's DVs, right? Ugh. Sometimes the intricacies of this game series gets, a bit mangled in my head, I have to admit. Not that I really like the set perfect stat values. Oh, you'll show me what you mean, huh? Okay. Come on. Show me what you got. Man, I just feel so sorry for Chikorita. Like, it's just set up to fail this generation so hard. Like... Oh wait, it's not Growl, it's Tail Whip, isn't it? Well, let's hit it. Damn you, critical hit that bypassed my attack drop. Man, why do we keep missing so often? I swear. And we're speed tied, huh? Well, at least I'm not the only one having really crappy RNG. A second critical hit? Really? That hardly seems fair. Where's my critical? A third critical hit? Okay, that's unbelievably lucky, Chikorita. Feels like the game's punishing me for, cheating on Miltank into existence, right? 3 crits! In one battle. Ugh. But finally a level up. Happy? Not really. Well, gotta keep heading back, I guess. Well, I really can't think of a good name for the rival right now. I didn't think about that, when I was doing the pre-planning for this run. Because sometimes I sit down and try and plan that stuff out, Like, what would be a good name? Well, let's see. Yeah, I did. Yep. He wishes he was as good as a cow, but, he's a goat. Not the greatest of all time kind of goat, just a goat, the kind that eats everything in your yard. After all, that's obviously the natural rival to a cow. Oh yeah, we gotta hand over the egg. Yep. Yeah, it is. I don't know, I suppose someone would argue the natural follow-up to Pikachu would have been Clefairy. It was the potential mascot of the series, after all. Until Pikachu came in and murdered it. like it just cold-blooded. It's just cold-blooded about it, too. Or don't. How about you? I'll use them to catch a few HM slays, but that's it. Like, I ain't got time to catch a whole bunch of Pokemon. It just gets in the way of my goal. Well, I suppose after we get done telling him no, because we already know how to catch Pokemon, you know, we'll call it quits for this episode. Well, that'll do it for this one. Until next time, then. See ya.